Welcome to Terminal 1 at Munich Airport. Join me today on my Finnair business class flight to Helsinki on board their A350. Since it's Oktoberfest time in Munich, the airport is rather busy, but it doesn't look too bad today, so let's head through security. My business class ticket gets me access to the Airport Lounge Europe or the Air France KLM Lounge, which I'm trying out today. The Air France Lounge is located above the normal gates and is rather small, and note that the toilets are located outside of the normal lounge space. Since the lounge was recently renovated, it still looks rather fresh and new, but you can clearly recognize the Air France branding. It's not too big, but since Air France and KLM only operate a few flights each day, it doesn't get too crowded normally. There's a small buffet with some drinks and warm and cold food options, and they're also going with the Oktoberfest theme. The lounge is currently serving breakfast since it's 10 in the morning. But now it's time for boarding. The A350 is parked at a remote stand today, so we'll take the bus there. They also moved the departure time 20 minutes ahead of the actual schedule, which was a first for me. And here's a first look at Oscar Hotel Lima Whiskey Echo, the A350 which is taking me to Helsinki today. This aircraft was delivered to Finnair in January 2016. Finnair was the first A350 customer in Europe and ordered it way before the first actual flight, to replace their aging fleet of MD-11s. Finnair currently operates 18 A350s as well as 8 A330s. And since the introduction of the new Air Lounge cabin in 2022, all aircraft have been equipped with this new business class cabin. Besides the long-haul routes to Asia and North America, Finnair also operates the A350 to Amsterdam, London and Munich multiple times a week. This aircraft is equipped with 43 business class seats divided in a larger and a smaller cabin. They also operate a few models with only 30 seats in one large cabin. I'm sitting in the last row of the large forward business class today in seat 8L. And you can already see the unique design of the Finnair Air Lounge. Waiting at my seat were 2 pillows as well as a water bottle and some headphones. Every seat in the cabin has the same layout, so you won't be closer to an aisle or the window in different rows. The seat also offers a great amount of privacy, so you won't see anybody else when you're sitting down. Also note that there are no overhead bins in the middle of the cabin, giving it a really roomy feeling. When sitting down in a normal position, the legroom is not the biggest I've ever seen, but you can get really comfortable in this seat. And as I already said, you won't see anybody else sitting next to you. In seat 8L you will get 2 windows with a great view onto the large engine and the wing. But before I'll show you the rest of the seat, first it's time for pushback and of course the takeoff.
Cabin crew, arm your doors and cross-check.
You must take the emergency position when instructed to do so by the crew. Bend forward and downwards as...
We will now prepare the cabin for takeoff.
All loose items must be stowed and compartments kept closed. Unplug your devices and...
Takeoff will be on runway 08 left today, so it's just a short taxi from our ramp. So turn your speakers up and enjoy the majestic roar of the A350 engines. The flight time will be 1 hour and 56 minutes today, and we'll be climbing up to flight level 390. On the big and fast touchscreen in front of you, you can see a timeline of the flight, showing you what's about to happen. You can of course also watch tons of movies as well as TV shows and listen to music and podcasts. And there's some really useful info if you have a connecting flight in Helsinki, as well as a terminal map. 1 hour of free Wi-Fi is also included for every business class customer, and the internet was really fast. But of course the most important feature for any AF geek is the in-flight map, which is fully customizable. Shortly after reaching the cruise altitude, the lunch service started with a hot towel handed out by the very friendly crew. The first round of drinks was served in these Itala Ultima Thule glasses, which are supposed to look like melting ice, and I of course went for the signature Finnair blueberry juice. Lunch consisted of this warm potato and schnitzel dish, as well as some cold fish with vegetable and a Finnish bread roll. All in all, a very tasty meal and absolutely sufficient for this 2-hour flight. After clearing the trays, the crew handed out these warm cinnamon rolls, which are also absolutely delicious. The really sturdy tray table has a clever design that lets you get out of your seat while you're using it. But now let's explore the main reason for this flight besides the A350, which is the air lounge seat. On your right you will find a large desk-like area with an inductive charger. Just down below there are the seat controls, which come down to just one basic function, as well as the lighting controls. Then there is this small compartment with 2 USB ports, the headphone port, as well as the remote for the in-flight entertainment if you don't want to use the touchscreen. Just above you will find the reading light. Then on your right, there's another small compartment which will hold a laptop or a tablet and a small bag, but nothing else. And behind there's the safety card. And down below you have a small compartment to put down your shoes. So let's transform this seat into a lie-flat bed. First you have to flip up this mechanical part, which is really sturdy, and then the only part that is movable by a button will come up just like this. And within seconds, you will have a fully lie-flat bed, which looks really comfortable. Another really smart design is the second seat belt that will keep you in your seat while you're lying down, which is really important in the times of clear air turbulence. And now the final test. I'm 185 centimeters tall and I found the bed to be really comfortable. If you're sleeping on your back, the space to your left might be a little tight for the leg, but if you're sleeping on the side, this seat is perfect for you. And the pillows provide great extra comfort. The only downside might be that the screen in front of you is not adjustable, so it's really difficult to see while you're lying down. Above your seat you will find another 2 lights, but no individual air vents. The cabin wasn't too warm in my opinion though, and as I've already mentioned, there are no overhead bins in the middle of the cabin, giving it this really roomy feeling. After this first test, I really like the seat, and I can't wait to try it out on a long-haul flight. The design is very simple, but for me it is definitely one of the best business class seats around. And the color design of the cabin makes it feel really Finnish and cozy. And just a tip for my fellow plane spotters, seat 5L has the best window in my opinion, because it's perfectly aligned next to your seat. And now a quick visit to the front right lavatory. which looks really fresh, clean and modern. And Finnair has these great smelling soaps, which I definitely want to buy afterwards on the ground. And of course you have this great big window to look outside. Just before descent, the crew handed out this Fatser chocolate, which was also really delicious. And as we're approaching Helsinki and are about to land on runway 04 right, let me tell you how much I paid for this flight. I bought a one-way ticket in economy for 176 euros and then got this upgrade for just 90 euros. Finnair introduced a business super light ticket, which has no lounge access, no seat selection and only a personal item on board. But somehow I still got lounge access as well as free seat selection, even though I upgraded into business super light. I don't know if upgrades will work the same way on a long haul flight, but for this 2-hour journey I found the 90 euros very reasonable to try out this great seat. And now I'll let you enjoy the scenic approach into Helsinki on this great sunny October afternoon.
Prepare the cabin for landing. And we will need your attention for safety information before we land.
Lämpimästi tervetuloa Helsinkiin. Istuthan vielä paikallasi turvavyö kiinnitettynä, kunnes kapteenimme sammuttaa turvavyömerkkivalon kanssamme tänään. Kiitos oikein paljon ja tervetuloa taas pian uudelleen. A warm welcome to Helsinki. Please remain seated and keep your safety belt fastened until our captain switches the signs off.
Welcome to Helsinki everyone. I really enjoyed this Finnair flight and I will definitely try to fly them more often in the future.
Cabin crew, disarm your doors and cross-check.
Since we are deboarding the aircraft through the back and going to the terminal with a bus, I can show you the premium economy section as well as the normal economy class, which looks also really nice. Leaving the aircraft in the back and going to the terminal with a bus has happened to me before at Helsinki when arriving with Lufthansa a couple of years ago. I still haven't figured out why they actually do it, even though you are parked at the terminal with a jetway attached. But it's another great opportunity to admire this beautiful A350 from the outside in the Finnish afternoon sun. And that's it for today. Have you tried out the Finnair Air Lounge already, and what do you think? I'm heading right back to Frankfurt now on a Finnair A320 in economy class. So don't forget to subscribe if you don't want to miss that flight report. And how about checking out my Instagram page where I post live updates of my travels as well as aviation content. Thank you so much for coming along and see you in the sky.